Hey gang, welcome back. Another episode of Zero Carb Journal. Good morning, you guys. Hey, it's Sunday. It's morning. It's like 6:30. Yeah, 6:30. And it is bright and glorious out there. I'm trying a different way, different place to sit here, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do it. I'm just squinting in the sun, but I'm going to try for a little while. You guys aren't going to be able to see me. I'm just going to squint at you. That's okay. Sure feels good. So good morning, you guys. Morning, hummingbird. Little hummingbird. Not sure if you guys can hear him. Just flew by my window. Looked in here. So yeah, Sunday morning, you guys, early. I'm just getting started. I've been awake for a little while, but my brain's not really going yet. So how are you? Good to see you guys. Thanks so much for checking in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all your support. Sure appreciate it as always. So here we are, you guys, middle of June. I've had an awesome week. You might have noticed I was pretty absent online. If you pay attention to anything I write on there, I didn't write anything at all this week. I don't think. Maybe once. And I just had an awesome week, you guys. So let's see, I checked in, left you guys off last weekend, and I was pushing on the boats and wrapping things up, and I don't remember what I was telling you about, but here I am at the end of this week, and you know what, you guys, I didn't work at all this week. Well, I didn't work for money at all this week, and it was awesome. So I went in on Monday morning to check on my boat, and you know, they had delivered those last two boats, and so they had a lot of electricians kind of hanging around. And my boat isn't done, but it's so close. And so I turned it over to them. And I think I don't have really great communication between the different levels there at that factory or at that shop. So the guys on the floor feel like they got it. I think the managers feel like they got it. So I don't think I'm going back. And so I think I'm done. And that's not the reason I sound wishy-washy, is because the boat's going to be delivered, I think, this week. And pretty good chance I'll end up back down there for a day or two when the boat gets to the water, because that's the first time they turn things on and find out all the stuff that doesn't work, which is how it always goes. And so then I go down and fix my mistakes, fix someone else's mistakes, whatever, just get the boat ready to go to be delivered. So I got a feeling I'll have a few more days of work like that, but in the meantime, I've been kind of waiting to see how that goes before I make my next plan. So here I am, you guys. It's the middle of June. It's the end of my 90 days of goals. You know, I have told you guys I do 90-day goal periods 3 times a year, and or I guess that'd be 4 times a year. Good morning. 4 times a year, and I'm just coming up to this coming week is my last week, and then I usually take a week break where I just don't work out and, you know, sort of relax and reflect and get myself back on track. So I'm at the end of my goals week. My job looks like it's done, if not wound down to just a few more hours. I'm not all the way out of debt officially, but I've got enough invoices out there and checks coming in that I will be, I think, by the time those checks come in the next couple weeks, I'll be able to pay off all my debts. And that feels great. It feels a little, to be honest with you, it's sort of a bittersweet feeling, right? Because I've earned a lot of money these last few months, but I'm going to be broke as I've ever been, but I will be completely out of debt and have a lot less monthly bills to pay and nothing hanging over me. So feels really good. I mean, I know it feels really good because it's been a long, hard slog for me these last couple of years getting out of that, and yeah, but it's bittersweet because I made a lot of money and I don't have any, but that's okay. So, but the reason I'm talking about that is because I'm not sure how this next week's gonna go. I might, you know, I've had this other boat shop owner calling me for a few months now, really, and I've been booked up, and he's been pretty adamant about wanting my time, and so I think I'm going to give him some. I think I'm going to call this week or drop by, and I really don't want to. But these opportunities don't come around. They disappear, and they go away for a year sometimes, or 2 years. You know, I might get a little, you know, month job here, month job there, but big, long stretches of a lot of work are hard to come by for me. in this capacity and at this rate, making this much money. So I'm probably gonna make hay while the sun shines. It's so nice out. I really would like to actually make hay while the sun shines, but I think I'm going to go sit inside metal boats some more and wire. We'll see. I don't want to. I'm going to go check in and see what they've got for work. I don't want to get involved in another big project, but I'd like to do another month or so, and just get some hours in and get myself ahead, because that would really set me up. Then I would be able to maybe go on a road trip or do something fun. Right now, if I stop working, I'm pretty much just going to have to sit around and go back to work on my other stuff, on my stove stuff, and start generating some income. But none of those incomes will ever get me off the ground here. I'll just sort of spin my wheels, which is fine. I like that. I mean, I'm really into my whole simple living and being here now, and I'm okay with that. But if I can get get ahead, and by digging in for a month, I might do that. So had a great break this week. It really cleared my mind. It feels really good. I worked out hard. I did long workouts all week and tired myself out. And it just feels really good to be getting back onto, to having time to pay attention to my health and my fitness and my, mental goals, as putting them first, top priority. I've been so focused on work and putting the hours in. And this week I sort of recentered and got myself back on track, and it felt great. My workouts were great. I started weighing myself. I'm heavy, you guys. I gained a lot of weight, which is good. I've been trying to. For many years now, I've been, when I first got down to my goal weight 4 or 5 years ago now, and I really have kept myself really close to that, and I've stayed there, and I haven't let myself gain. I talked about that months ago when I started here. I was cutting when I first started the journal here, and my goal was to get down to a low weight and then start adding weight. And because I haven't been able to bulk, as I mentioned before, when I was eating a mixed diet, when I was hypocaloric, when I was eating at a deficit, for the most part I feel fine. But it was when I went into a surplus and I would try and gain weight that I would really start to have a lot of those symptoms of my illness. And so this is the first period where I've been able to eat, enough to gain weight at a significant rate and not be ill the whole time. So in a lot of ways, it's a lot of success. Also mentally, I was really holding myself back from gaining weight. I realize that now. It wasn't until, this winter when I finally dropped the scale, weighing myself every day. I'd been doing that for years and years, and I just really was never letting myself go. I would let myself gain a little bit of weight, but I would pull the reins back, every time I started to go kind of too quick. So I gained a lot of weight. I gained 15 pounds since I did my last cut, which I ended at the beginning of February. So I've gained quite a bit of weight, and it's like I said, again, it's kind of bittersweet. I go both ways. I'm like, oh, I'd like to, be a little slimmer. My belly's a little bit bigger than I'd like, and I don't quite fit in my pants. I got a wedding to go to in August, so I want to try and fit back into my suit. And I fit, but not well. And but it's good because I've been able to gain weight, and I think I'm actually at a pretty healthy weight. I'm at about 145 right now. My waist, like I said, I've gained an inch or two there. That's a little more than I'd like, but I wasn't working out as hard while I was gaining all that weight. I was working in the boats and really not sedentary. I was putting a lot of effort in, but I was not riding my bike, not doing long workouts. So not as much of that as muscle as I'd like, but I got a feeling quite a bit of it is. When I did my hard workouts this week, I kind of instantly started picking back up weights again, like going back, gaining every workout, going back to getting stronger. And since I'm 15 pounds heavier, I've been doing weighted pull-ups and weighted push-ups and all those things, and so I've been doing them with added weight, and I'm at a pretty high level right now. So I'm really looking forward actually to losing a few pounds and pushing hard on my workouts and seeing where my strength is. I feel like while I'm heavier right now than I'd like to be, I feel like I've made a lot of progress these last 6 months on these fitness goals I've had for a few years now. One of the main ones there being to add some lean mass. I've always been really quite slender and small, even though I've been strong, and So having some lean mass is something that I've had as a goal, because I want to go into my older years with some muscle on my bones, I guess, and try and extend my, working capacity through time there. So anyways, it feels like a success, you guys. If I feel I'm heavier than I've been since I started weighing myself, heavier than I've been since I've really weighed myself ever, because I didn't have a scale for the first 45 years of my life. So, but my body composition, I still feel like I've got a much better shape than I did 5 years ago when I started, and I'm really looking forward to seeing, if when I do a little cut here, if I'm finally starting to have a little more definition. I just didn't have much muscle before. So anyways, that's pretty exciting, and so I'm looking forward to pursuing my fitness goals a little more in the coming months. If I go back to work at this other shop here, I'm going to try to, I won't be so pressured, I don't think. I'll have that debt out from over me, and I think hopefully I'll prioritize my fitness, and go in later and come home earlier, and just kind of put in some hours, through the summer here at a rate that doesn't kill me, but just kind of fills my coffers. So we'll see how that goes, but I'm going to really try and maintain my fitness as my focus for the next, my next goal period. I guess I can check my debt off my list and get back to fitness. So this week, has been really good, you guys. I like I said, I got centered. I sort of refound my fitness. I spent a lot of energy, a lot of time fencing again. I think I told you I bought another round of fencing, and I got after it this week and did a lot. I put in one whole new section, partitioning my main pasture, which has been a goal of mine for a long time. So I now have 5 good pastures, down from really just one when I started this project. So I've got options for moving the animals around, so I'm going to be able to rotate. I didn't hay last winter other than for a few weeks in the snow, and so now with more rotation potential, I'm quite sure I'll be able to move forward with raising these animals without really any more feed inputs or things like that during the winter. So quite a bit of inputs this summer, in terms of financially, a lot of inputs in fencing and a lot of energy expenditure from me too. And that's always been one of my goals, is to lower my inputs. Well, with this idea of a permaculture type thing, you've got to do some pretty high intensity input in the beginning, setting up the systems. And so that's the phase I've been going through, and seems to be working pretty well. So the bull was out twice yesterday out of my new fencing, and it was just some loose spots. I'm starting to find the holes and getting them tightened up, and so it's feeling really good. Little Olivia's doing great, my little calf. My second cow has not had a baby. Her udders are sort of just holding firm, staying the same. She doesn't look like she's bagging up any more than she was, but she does have a small bag, so I'm still confident she's going to have a baby. She's looking big. So who knows, maybe in a few weeks here. All the sheep are getting along great. I got my 4 new sheep from last week, I think I told you about. And yeah, so, my goals, I'm moving away, obviously, not gardening anymore. So my goals were to move towards reinvesting in my livestock and building that program up. It's going great. I'm moving forward on that. Adding fences, adding pastures, adding animals, and yeah, it feels really good. So, 0 carb this week. Food-wise, I just kept it simple. I just ate beef, I think, all week. No, that's not true. I was finishing off some bacon and cheese and continuing to find how those treat me now. It seems like the cheese does bring some repercussions. Nothing major, but it seems like 6-8 hours after I eat it, I kind of have some gurglings and rumblings. A little bit harder to move my stool in the mornings, but firmer than normal thanks to the cheese, I think. I don't know, but I'm definitely of the mind that cheese is going to be something that I'm fortunate because I can have, but I don't think I'll have it very often. And I do think it's hard for me to say because I only just started weighing myself again, but I do think it contributes to adding weight. To me, it seems like, and it definitely seems like it contributes to me being hungry. Like, I feel like after I eat the cheese, that I'm hungry all day after, not right afterwards, but a few hours afterwards I start to become hungry again and stay hungry. So I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm at the point where I've been, feeling things out so carefully that the only things left are things that are really subtle if they make me feel, not well. I feel for the most part really well, and I'm not eating anything that really throws me off. So now I'm kind of just, I think maybe Robin said it, maybe Allison, just teasing out those last final details. So cheese seems like one I should probably take it easy on. I don't know. Anyways, I enjoy it. I don't go crazy for it. I never seem to eat too much at any one time. I'm wary of it, I guess, is really the way to say that. So, but anyways, I enjoyed the cheese I had. I had some yesterday, finished off my block just so I wouldn't have it around, and finished off my bacon so I wouldn't have it around, and I'll keep those. Bacon seems like on its own, it seems actually just fine. So, but I do worry. Well, I don't worry. I just, I don't want to eat too much of it, I guess. It does seem like if I eat it day after day, it doesn't, I don't seem to do as well as when I just eat beef day after day. So anyways, this week I mostly just ate beef. I had bacon and cheese every third day or so just to kind of keep testing that. It went well, and I've been eating a lot and eating as much as I want. And I think I'm going to change that now. Like I just said, my weight is up. So I'm going to go back to a little cut here. I think I'm going to go back down to measured 2 pounds a day. That seems to be my magic number for bringing my weight back under control. And I'm going to try and lose an inch or two around my waist before this wedding in the beginning of August so I can fit back into my pants. And yeah, so I'm kind of looking forward to a little bit of, like I said, refocusing on fitness, getting back on my bike, having time to do that. And I'll roll into that a little bit of watching what I eat, and I'm okay with that. It usually seems to go really well. One thing I do know is that seems to be easier on my stomach, and I'm really starting to, I talked about still having sick days once a week. I didn't have one this week. Ooh, is that true? I did have some diarrhea this week. I think maybe last Sunday. I think after cheese and bacon, a whole lot of it. Anyways, nothing major. But one thing I've noticed is that it's like I said earlier, even when I was talking about my old diet, it seems like caloric surplus is harder on my digestion than caloric deficit. Makes sense. But anyway, it does seem like moving forward, I'll probably be eating a couple pounds a day for the next month or so, and that usually seems easier on my digestion. So I'm curious to let that pan out and see how that goes. See if truly I don't have any more sick nights if I just eat beef and don't eat as much. I'm really starting to think that a big part of that problem, I touched on it a few times, but I think it was eating too much. And I don't think it was eating too much over the course of the day. I think it was eating too much in one sitting, and it was a function of me sort of, and I did this naturally. I naturally sort of drifted into one meal a day there as I was doing those 10-hour days. I would get up at 4, work out, be at work by 6, and I would just work all day with no breaks and no food, and I'd come home at 5, and I didn't feel very hungry, but then when I would start eating, I would be famished, and I would eat and eat and eat. And on those days I was sick, it seemed like those were the days that I would eat, 4 pounds or something in one sitting. And I just think that with the gristle, and it seemed like those were the bits. I always talk about that. But those, I would just have too much of that stuff for my body to be able to break down, I think. I don't know. Still don't know what's up with the liver, but I don't care about that, so it doesn't matter. Don't enjoy it, and I don't feel like it's necessary or useful at all to me. So there's that. So yeah, I'll be eating a little less, and I'll probably be keeping it simple, and going back to the nutrition on the liver and stuff since we touched on it. I still am reading people eating zero carb and really concerning themselves about nutrition and variety and all that stuff. And I just like to reiterate, folks, I don't believe that we know enough to know what is or isn't necessary. All of the long-term people that I can observe, the Charles Washingtons and the Kelly Hogans and the Andersons and on and on and on. For the most part, most of the long-termers don't have those feelings. That seems to be something that just the folks like us who are new and still learning and really wondering, oh, is it going to be okay, and still sort of hung up on the old ways, and Frank, of course, but there's some folks who really get hung up on the the concepts of nutrition and the what ifs, but none of it seems to hold water in observation. I mean, the people who talk about, oh, you must have liver and you're not being, getting a fully nutritious diet if you don't eat organ meat or variety. There doesn't seem to be any basis in reality in that. It seems to come simply from studies that they've read and research and science that's all done on carb eaters. So I'm still not buying it. And whenever I do eat liver, I feel sick. That's neither here nor there. That isn't a useful anecdote, but I do know the long-termers that I really look up to, the ones who to me look the healthiest, have had the best success, they don't worry about those things. So like I say, I can only trust what I can observe. So I that comes a little bit from reading online and people going back and forth about nutrition on this way of eating, and I get kind of tired of hearing the liver and the nutrition folks and the raw folks, sort of parade the higher nutrition out over, because I think it steers a lot of folks who are learning and trying to find their path the wrong way. I wouldn't be here if people had said, well, you have to eat liver or it's not going to work, or you have to have variety or it's not going to work, or raw is so much better, you're doing it wrong. I don't believe any of those things. I really don't. I feel like there's adequate nutrition in muscle meat, and maybe if you just look at the numbers and the science, it doesn't add up, but if you look at the humans, they look healthy, and my numbers are all great, after over a year. So I don't know. I don't need to keep harping on that. I read those things online. I don't want to get involved and go back and forth and argue with I like Frank is a great example. He has great information. I love what he shares. I think he's very knowledgeable, and his information is incredibly useful. The only issue I have is that I think that when people are new or coming from keto, he's gonna tell them that they have to eat liver, or they're going to get the impression that if to do zero carb right, you have to have liver or organ meats, and you have to have grass-fed foie gras, and you have to have or raw is higher nutritional density. I don't think that is his standpoint necessarily, that you have to do it raw, because I've seen him go a few different ways, and I'm not picking on him. I think he's a wonderful resource, and he's definitely incredibly knowledgeable. I look up to him in a lot of ways, but just saying my opinion is different in that I don't believe that you can research how much vitamin D a human needs and apply those numbers to a carnivorous human, because there are no studies done there, and we just don't know. And some of the best researchers in the world in this field right now, like the Thoths, I guess you say, and Hungary, they've put out lots of studies showing that muscle meat eaters from high latitudes, for the most part, have no problems with vitamin D. So that's just one example, and one of their studies. It doesn't prove anything. I know that either way, but at any rate, I really believe that we don't know, and that observation is the best bet. And on that note, I do get a little concerned about all the supplementation and you've got to supplement with vitamin D, or you've got to eat all this stuff, because you start to see people who believe those things, and then they go to their doctor and find out they have way too high of levels of vitamin D. That one just came up on Reddit, and I don't want to say I told you so, but I just really want to say that I don't think we know how much we need, and I do think that by eating simply a carnivorous diet, don't worry about whether it's all muscle meat or organs, or just carnivorous, just leave it at that. I do think we get enough nutrition all the way across the board. Vitamin A, vitamin D, all the things we don't think are in there, they seem to be present in my system in adequate amounts. So they seem to be present in the people who've been doing this for 10 years and 20 years in adequate amounts. The Andersons never eat organ meats. They only eat muscle meats. They look healthier than just about any of the other examples I've ever seen, along with the other folks who eat that way are really the more healthy examples that I've seen. So I don't know. I keep coming back to that, but it keeps getting stuck in my mind. Sometimes I go to bed thinking about it. So that's what this journal is for, right? Talking about zero carb concepts. So anyways, I'm going to stay the course. I'm going to eat a little bit. I'm not going to eat any variety, and I'm going to see how I go moving forward here. So, boy, it's nice out, you guys. It's getting really warm. I think I'm going to wrap it up, get on with my Sunday. It's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all you fathers. Thank you to all of you. I'm getting ready to call my dad here, give him a little while to wake up, and then I don't know what I'm going to do. I might just hang around in the sun and laze around. I'm feeling well rested, but feels good to just sort of have some summer. I haven't done that, you know. I did that yesterday a little bit, and I just reminded myself, you know, if you were at the beach, you'd just be sitting reading a book in the sun. Just be here now and enjoy where you are and enjoy the moment. Get caught up on some rest in summer. So I think I'm going to do that, and then we'll see what this week brings. I got a lot of firewood I want to get caught up on. I'm way behind, so I'll go check in with work, see if the new customer wants me and how much they want me for, and see how much I want to give them, and then I'll probably get the chainsaw out this week and get after some firewood stacks. And it's supposed to be 80 all week, so we'll see how far I get. I'd like to go surfing. I need to fix my truck before I do that. Lots to do. But at any rate, you guys, I can't tell you how much this all means to me. Thank you so much for watching and listening, you know, really sharing this and just getting my thoughts out, and continuing to you know, be mindful of my zero carb experience is really helpful to me. So I can't tell you how much I appreciate it all. Sorry you can't see my eyes. I'm just squinting away. But I can't tell you guys, you know, thank you. I just can't tell you enough. So thanks so much, as always. Hope you guys have a great week and a great day. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be typing much more of this in the coming months. I'm not sure if that's going to be part of my program, so you might not see me every morning. But I'm here and I'm moving forward, making progress towards my goals, and I hope you guys are too. And let's keep moving forward. Let's keep things positive, try and help each other. Keep sharing this information, because together I think we can really help some people. So, all right, you guys, have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. See ya.